Hey there, guys. It's RCK, and I'm glad to have you back here again today. Today we'll be doing something kind of like we did with the Ulm short series that we had going on, and this will be the same for another sub game that I have, and it's going to be for Asphodel, M.A. Asphodel. A really fun nation. It's actually going to be my first time ever playing them. I've never played them in a game before, and I saw this sub position come up uh, on the servers, and I decided to take it. A little bit of backstory before we actually jump into it. Um, the last player had to leave for some kind of reasons. Nobody's really sure on why. Um, the turn I come in, uh, I think it was like turn 28 or turn 29. I didn't start saving the turns till after that turn. Um, we lost our entire army. We had no retreat route, so everything that did retreat died. We lost around 80 black centaurs and a lot of mage. Well, not really much of a mage corps. He never had many mages at all, it seemed. And then we had another force, and it seemed like a raiding force that also died. We lost a lot of black centaurs. So altogether in that turn, the turn I came in, we lost probably around 100 black centaurs. And I just find, or this is actually a disciples game, so it's quite interesting. The style that they're playing Asphodel, since they didn't take Asphodel as the main god, you don't have any free spawn, so it's quite interesting. But beside the point, as far as the bless goes, it's like revig 2 and leadership. So we have absolutely no bless at all. Quite interesting. But I mean, we're making a decent amount of income. Definitely wouldn't have made black centaurs if we didn't take a bless, but from talking to other players, it seemed like the Asphodel player faked that they had a bless the whole time, or they had a hell bless in some sort of way, and then just to find out that they didn't have one, I guess so they didn't get rushed in the beginning. Our teammate for this Disciples game is Falegra. They're the one that took the god. If anyone's familiar with them, I think I did a national overview for them. Maybe that was LA I did them for. I thought I did MA too, but I definitely could be wrong. But more of a Earth Fire nation there. And we will go ahead and jump into the first turn of the game. I'll probably just go over maybe the first 4 turns. Maybe. Depends on what goes on. There's actually a turn, since this is not a. Let me move my keyboard out of the way to type. My microphone. This is actually not a game on the bot server, which was quite interesting. So there was one turn I missed. I did not have the battle or the turn saved since it was not on the server or bot server. And I do have the battle report that I screenshotted, so I will show you that. This is the end of Falegra. Falegra is dead at this point. Uh, it might have been 2 turns that I didn't save before I started saving these for the sub game, but maybe it wasn't. But I believe they've already taken Falegra. I've lost my main army. I've lost over 100 sacreds, which I spoke about. So this is just Falegra giving me everything that they currently have. So I'll put them to use, of course. We'll cast Carrion. We got a Carrion Lord here. A couple of battles, I'll go over them. Something that also happened there in this game is that they contracted Pangea to use some mercenaries, like 20 white centaurs, and we had to pay them 2,000 gold. That is quite ridiculous, but it was a previous agreement that the other 2 team members have. I believe they were new players. As far as Falegra goes, I believe that this is his first game. Not sure about the Asphodel player, but there were mistakes that were made. Definitely wouldn't have paid for that much gold for those troops if they were going to do something like that. And those troops actually never even made it a fight. I think the first province they went into, they got patrolled out and they were all killed. And I'm like, that's like a 1,000 gold worth of troops and maybe 20 white centaurs and the commander, and they spent 2,000 gold on it. So by the time it came for somebody to pay up, I am the sub sitting here with my cap circle left, not even my cap circle left, barely any gold. So I had to send Pangea lots of gems. Um, don't think I sent items because I just didn't really have any. I sent all the gold I had that turn. I sent all the gems that I could. I think it was mostly death gems, unfortunately. Could have been some of the earth or water, whatever else that Phalegra sent me. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. But that was quite a problem I had. So we'll look here at the first battle, of course. And it seems like I was raiding them. I'm just trying to take back some of my land. They put 1 PD down. These are just the centaurs I was making in my capital. Calum attacks me here. There are very, very large PD dumps in my provinces. Very, very surprised. I think you could do much better in terms of spending your money or spending it on things. I feel like you can spend it on a lot better things than spending it on 30 PD or 40 PD, however much there was. But there were ridiculous amounts of PD, and like this isn't even a good province. It has heavy infantry, light infantry, militia, satyrs, just because they're my troops. But I mean, no heavy cav, no barbs. You could have put them on something much better as far as the province defense goes. And I mean, only killed what 200 gold, 210 gold worth of Spirehorn warriors. Definitely spent more on the PD than they did on killing. So keep that in mind. But there were multiple provinces that had lots and lots of PD in them, and I was like, what in the world? But that gold was already spent, and I couldn't change that. Just another raiding force I had, the Carrion Beast, Harpies, Mannequins, very trash troops. If these died, it was okay. I'll explain to you the movement when we go to the battle map. Another raiding force. Calum fighting me. Currently enough, if anyone's noticed yet, it's Calum and Jotunheim forces are fighting Phalegra and Asphodel. That is what is going on. Forces of Phalegra, just them killing the last of Phalegra off. And this is the last fort Phalegra owned, I believe, or the last fort that had anything in it. So we'll watch this battle. They had a few thugs. They weren't equipped up, I don't think. Not too much. Okay. Black Steel. Astral Serpent. Interesting. Black Steel play a very, very small amount of equipment on them. So very unfortunate. I did tell him to cast Fire Shield. Was kind of hoping that Calum was going to be attacking the fort and not Jotunheim, but still, Fire Shield I do feel like helped him out a little bit. Just looking at Fire 3, Earth 2. I think he had Iron Skin, so I mean he is up to, yeah, he did have Iron Skin, so he is up to 30 protection, but I mean Giants hit pretty hard. Cerebral Sock, Fire Resistance, Poison. He probably could have cast something like Skeletal Body, or maybe something along those lines as well. Not sure how much he had left on his script there. Toughness. Protective Force. Yeah, hopefully enough the Fire Shield. I mean, 32 protection is not bad. I mean, defense scope 10 and attack scope 13, that's rather sucky, to be honest. And see, catching these small troops on fire here, these Vedi troops here with only 8 hit points, and having such a, well, Link 3 weapon's not too bad, but they're definitely going to catch on fire. Even some of the Jotun forces are catching on fire, dealing some damage here and there. But it seems like these tyrants are going to be HP routed here. Having the rest of the army die. I wonder if it would have been better if these 4 tyrants would have broke the siege, just them by themselves. I wonder if that would have made a difference. Also enough, the Asphodel right now is, well, a few turns ago it was even worse than what it is now. But we had such terrible research. It would have been interesting if they actually went for Construction 4 or Rush Construction 4 to build something like Rings of Revig or Regeneration and stuff like that for these tyrants. And I feel like they would have become a much bigger threat if we were able to power out some nice items for them. Just having that nice nature income, we definitely would be able to get that very, very early on for them. And then just them doing their own thing. I mean, they'd really only have to go to Construction 2, make their Black Steel stuff, and whip through a ring or something, and some other stuff onto their units for them, and they will be good to go. But we had very, very bad research. And, well, 28 slash is going to deal chip to 32 protection anyway. But having regeneration on them would be very, very nice. Looks like their defense skills down, or maybe they fatigued out. Yeah, they actually fatigued out. So that is what's going on there. And that is what's getting that. But maybe like a Vine Shield, and Ring of Regeneration, whatever kind of weapon we can give him. And I feel like he would not be having any problems. But he does make them route, but he will probably route first. It looks like they're fatigued out as well. Nope, they're not fatigued out. Only mage left. So we routed before they did. But I mean, done decent damage, I guess, for his last little stand here. We're going to the next battle. Just a chief. I feel like, yeah, we discovered him. He was just sneaking around. We discovered another one. So quite interesting. And we will look at the battle map. Quite a pretty map we're playing on. I do enjoy this one, but it is not a wraparound. So it does have its ups and downs, of course. I believe they had something on this fort, so we're just patrolling just to see if we can catch anything. So Caleb's trying to move into our lands now that we have left over. This is a force that I moved out that was originally in the capital. We're just trying to raid back as much land as we can and take back as much as we can. I'm not sure why everything is just on defend here. We should have had our orders on doing whatever they were doing. I don't quite remember what was going on, but I'll show you the bless. Yeah, inspirational and leadership. For some reason I thought they had revig. So quite interesting. They took Dominion 10 strength and they took scales. Quite interesting. Definitely wouldn't took Dominion 10. But they had like I said, they had a lot of black centaurs, which I guess you can make a lot, but I mean, strength 14, attack skill 11, defense skill 17, protection 9, berserk, stealthy sacred, 23 hit points at 55 gold apiece, whereas this 35 gold centaur warrior has 14 strength, attack skill of 10, defense skill of 16, protection of 9, which is the same, berserk and stealthy, and recuperation. He's just not sacred, and they did not take a bliss. So there's absolutely no reason why you should be making black centaurs over these guys. And that's why we had it set to making centaur warriors. And then we're making a lot of dryad hags just because we have money for it at the time. We're trying to hit a water random on those. So we have things like foul vapors, which was not a target they went for. They went for enchantment 3. No, we went for enchantment 3. They had alteration 3, they had conjuration 2, they had evocation, and they had construction 2. But honestly enough, a lot of those things you can get rather high up just in random paths from taking magic 3. So like thaumaturgy 1 would have been what they would have already had from taking magic 3. So they had very, very bad research. Because I think by this time I've already made 6 mages or so, and I've summoned both of these, and the god was not researching. I think I made that dryad hag, and I believe I made that black dryad too. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I moved that centaur. So we had I believe honestly enough, I think we had 6 mages researching, and that was it. And then most of these I think were either ones we made or ones we sent back, because there were troops that were sneaking all the way back here. Like there's like 3 mages over here, and we snuck them here and then back home. And I think that took 3 turns. Maybe it took 2 turns, I don't remember correctly. But there were mages out sneaking around a lot. Might have been these that were coming back home. These 2 right here, and then I think there was some more somewhere else. So definitely did not have any researchers really going on. Making another dryad hag over here. Trying to hit that enchantment 5 for a horde of skeletons, since we'll more than likely will have a decent amount of high death magic here. 2, 2, 5, 2, 3. We will twice born him eventually. Just to have more bodies on the field, because we're definitely going to need them in 2v1. Other than that, we Also want enchantment 5 for foul vapors. Lots of poison. Definitely kill the small Kalem troops and the small Jotun troops, not really affecting the giants as much, but will kill the little Vetis. So very, very good spell for us. And then we have summoned, or they have summoned, a lot of carrion centaurs that are reanimating. So this is how we get our free spawn. They bring a decent amount. I definitely wish there was more. And this is about how many centaurs we can make a turn. And this is just basically us moving them onto a Centauride and then sending them out like this in a small raiding force, or sending out small groups of the carrions just to attack separate provinces to take them back. And if we lose them, actually it would kind of suck to lose these elephants here, but the rest of these here, they're basically trash. This chaff here is really nothing. I mean, I feel like even Ermorian skeleton chaff or Skittlarian skeleton chaff is much better than this chaff. This province here has 32 PD. This one has 20. I think one of these had more than that. I don't remember. But there was a lot. I think I might PD dump this one because they have cataphracts, and that's the only one I do. But at that point, I actually moved all of my armies together into that province because I thought Kalem was going to hit it. Well, I didn't really even PD dump it. I think I put like maybe 15, maybe not even that. So I wouldn't really say PD dump. But I mean, we always were putting one. I guess the turn did not save what we actually did for a turn. Hopefully the next turn did. So we will go over to the next one. That was turn 30. Continue. 31. So we have a battle here. Jotunheim is attacking us. Just these little wolf riders. They've been doing a pretty good job at effectively raiding us, since we've done a fairly poor job in trying to counter that. But I will try to definitely work on it. But did we win? No, we lost. So yeah, this is the one. So I moved everything back in, moving to take 38 back because it's a farmland giving us 106 gold. I do remember us moving all the mages from this castle over here because I did not plan on fighting for it over to this one. We do end up getting that water random this turn, and they do have the centaurs on them, but now it's like, the centaurs and the mage are both sneakers, so we don't have to send them. We can just sit there and research, because if we research, it will give us just closer to enchantment 5. We'll just get us one turn closer to enchantment 5. Seeing all these little satyrs and stuff, they're actually very, very poor PD, or not they're very, very poor chaff, and the rest of them's not that great either. But that was just the small army that was sitting in 47, so they're doing a little bit of trying to take back some rating. But I originally moved them there because it already had 20 PD in it. I was like, well, if they're going to battle anything, I want them to battle in there where they have 20 PD. All this is moving back to the capital because with Kalem jumping around, the forces of Jotunheim being free here and just taking this citadel, they're going to be coming straight for me, and I don't want them to piece me out. I want to actually make them suffer for these fights. I should have destroyed that laboratory there. Other than that, we did get a gold event this turn. A decent amount of income. We're making a dryad hag, making as many centaurs as we can, and the same goes for this province, but we're only making a dryad hag. We ran out of money to make centaurs over here. So definitely trying to really increase the total amount of research we have, and that is really the plan for us. And I don't go to construction 4 after I hit enchantment 5. I actually decide to go to alteration 6 after I hit enchantment 5, and that is to hit a very, very key spell, being darkness. Since we'll be able to cast it, hopefully enough that will put us on an even playing field with our chaff and the Kalem troops. Jotunheim won't be as effective, but the Kalem ones will definitely be. I believe. I think they don't have Spirit's Eye. Let's look. No, wrong one. Yeah, they don't have Spirit Sight. And what does the Jotun troops, do they not have? I don't think they have anything either. And there, it seems like neither of the armies are using Sacreds. I think Calum's using a few mages, and I think Jotunheim's, they're using some small thugs. They're using some Gaijas, and they're using some Betty Hags here and there. But I don't think they're really using any Scrotty or anything like that at the moment. Taking advantage of their Wolf Riders. So let's actually look at score graph. So this was the battle here that we lost, and this is the turn that I joined in. And, since then we've been growing, but very, very huge hit on our part that we lost 600 or 700 troops in that battle. Very, very bad for us. And then I think that was a stall. I think they stalled that turn there. Not entirely sure, because if I was in the game, I would have definitely have awakened mannequins. I feel like that's the point where a mannequin started getting awoken there. So probably this has probably been the last 2 turns right here. That was the Phalegra attack. So that was the turn I just showed you. That's this turn. So I joined in 2 turns before that. But yeah, huge hit. Definitely would be doing much better if we still had that army. Definitely wouldn't have took whatever fight that was in their territory when they was, I guess, raided around us. I'm not entirely sure. And then they stalled. And that's why we're so far behind. Our research has been very, very low. I think that's about when I joined. And you can tell we've been definitely working on it quite a bit. Our income's jumping up and down. Not too much to say about everything else. So, haven't really scripted anything yet. I know they won't be attacking our fortress, or our capital anyway. So just really trying to focus on reanimating and focus heavily on researching. Do we have anyone casting any spells at the moment? No, really don't have enough nature gems. Wanted to get a few more of these Carrion Lords. I think I've got 2 of them so far, so I spent about 70 gems. Don't think I traded for any, but I know Phalegra sent me a lot the first turn. He must have been holding on to some. But we did have quite a few Death Gems, and I planned on using those on making some Skull Mentors or something like that, just trying to boost our research up. But like a turn or 2 later, that's when Pangea came calling, and we had to give them all up. And I think a lot of these we actually turn into nature gems or turn into other things for our battles. So that's where our whole gem income went to. And we will end that turn. That was turn 31. We will hit to turn 32. So we have a couple of battles going on here. We have one in High Peaks. Looks like a raiding force of just the Wolf Riders here. And fighting against 1 PD. Not anything to really care about there. We have our raiding force taking back this farmland. And another thing too that I thought was very interesting, if you've already noticed before, we took cold 3 scales, which was quite or cold 2 or cold 3, which was quite surprising. Very surprised they didn't take heat. Just the fact of Phalegra being able to cast things like Heat from Hell and stuff like that. And Asphodel wouldn't have really cared if you went heat regardless. It was just quite interesting that they chose to go cold. But it is what it is. Calum attacking us in Old Woods. Not sure if I don't think I clicked on this one yet. This is the major part of their force here. Lots of air 2s with gems. We have an air 3 here, probably casting something like Storm or other things. All the air 2s are going to probably be casting something along the lines of air elementals, I feel, or maybe something else, Thunderstrike, I don't know. And they just took out a very small amount of PD. We have another battle here in 2 Spruce Forest, and we will watch this one, of course. A very, very large Calum raiding force. attacking 1 PD. That definitely could have been split in half. But with that one in good old woods, that was definitely going to be an army moving, not a raiding force. We have Jotunheim attacking Phalegra here. I bet this is their citadel. He's probably storming it, and yes, I am correct. And we do see one of these mages here, which is quite interesting. We have a sacred. We do have a Scrotty. I do not remember seeing a Scrotty before. Very lightly thugged if he decides to run him in. A very, very small amount of troops coming in as well. Surprised there's not more coming to claim this fort, but he probably knew that there is really nothing in here at all. But hopefully enough these Cyclops hurlers will be able to deal some damage. So they're taking a few out here and there. Very small amount of mages. This is 4 mages. Water 2, Fire 2, Fire 2, and another Fire 2. Jotunheim's troops coming up on the walls, attacking the Cyclops. We have a Gaija over here. Not sure exactly what they're casting, but it looks like a small communion. Fatigues are already up to 90 and 94, but they don't have the communion tag on them. Maybe they're not. Yeah, they're casting separate spells. Probably because the force is so small that they don't need to cast what they're scripted. It's too bad those fireflies aren't hitting these Vedi troops and catching them on fire. More than likely that's just because of the higher HP pool of the Jotun warriors here, making them targeting them versus targeting these Vedi troops. Oh, and there's that Scrotty. Yeah. And that is going to be the last of Phalegra. Yep. God, Phalegra has been permanently vanquished. Caught some sneaking troops here. We caught one of their sneaking troops. Our fortress is under siege. And like I said, I did not want to actually... I'm glad our turns were actually saved now. I did not plan on fighting for this fort here. So we will be moving our 2 Dryad hacks, and we random another water random here. So very, very nice for us. They're going to be moving out, of course, moving back to Asphodel itself, being the capital. And at this point from now on, we're going to be sitting in the capital. We don't want to actually fight them on the open field anymore. I want to be fighting on our terms. I don't feel like we can really pose much of a threat offensively, but we can definitely hold out for a while with the troops that we have. So we will try our best to take what we can. This must be the turn that we send all the money way up. We had 250 gold left. We sent 30 death gems and 15 blood slaves. We're not recruiting anything, so that was literally all of our cash. We're not recruiting anything in here. So that was everything that we had. So this is Caelim's large force that's coming. They have a force on 61, which is rather large. And Jotun's forces seem to be over here somewhere in this general area. So it looks like we still probably have a few turns. There's also another 70 units over here. So very, very large force, 70, 160, and then 130 as far as our scouting reports read. So very, very large force. Probably around, what, 400? 400-ish maybe more, maybe less. Not sure what they're bringing, but this is where Jotunheim and Caelim are. Man and Nazca are over here. Scalaria and their partners over here. Don't remember. Let's look. Pretenders. I think this is Satis, I believe. And then Pangea and... No, this is Satis and Pangea. And then Agartha and somebody must be over here or either over here. I do not remember, but I do remember this being Scalaria and that team, this being Man and Nazca, that being Pangea and Satis. And not sure who's who over there, but from looking at the nations, it has to be Uruk, it has to be Phaecia, Agartha, and Midland or Ulm? Who's on Midland's team? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. So that's what's going on. Trying to talk Man and Nazca into fighting Caleb and stuff, and Jotunheim, but they were not into it. They wanted to fight Scaleria with whatever nations over here, and then Pangea is kind of doing their thing, fighting the nation that's over here. So we were just left on our own, and that will be it for this turn. Moving over to trying to get back to the capital, of course, reanimating as much as we can. We aren't making anything this turn. We did twice. No, we still haven't twice born him yet. We're casting 2 Carrion Lords. We turned all the leftover gems that we had into nature gems after whatever Pangea wanted, and we sent to him to make Carrion Lords. So we'll have 2 more of them. Decent. They'll be Def 2, Nature 3, so we'll just have more horde of skeletons, casters, and stuff. So pretty cool. And that will be it as far as our army goes. Did I sort them out yet? No. Which in that case, I don't think I will talk about all these separate forces that we have, but I do end up like putting them all into the garrison and figuring out how I want to actually have them as far as the army setup goes. And then I had them all separated out for like each type, see how many I had of each type. But I thought about talking about them, but I probably won't. I had a fair number of these centaurs. I had 62 centaurs saved up at this point. These are all centaurs that I've made. When I started, there were no centaurs at all, and these are what's left of all of the black centaurs that were made prior to me joining. We do have a fair number of these mammoths here, and they're kind of nice, not too bad. Very high H people units, trample and stuff, so they're okay. Overall, I mean, we have about, actually, let's put it all up there and see right now. Well, actually, we can just look there. We only have 386 units, so really not the best. We definitely want a lot more units. So that is what we'd be working on until we are sieged. Hopefully enough with all of these carrion centaurs, we're going to be able to make chaff very, very fast. And still, like I said, whenever we're making centaurs, we can make a fair few. So that would be the end of turn 32, and we will head over to turn 33. Turn 33. And let me check on the recording. Okay, about 30 minutes, not too bad. Cast both the Carrion Lords, battle here in Dunheim. PD. Jotunheim forces attacked our one province we owned in the water. Very, very large amount to actually attack us. We caught. There's a battle in Asphodel. They're pinging our capital just to see what we have in it, and I believe that is 13 province defense. It's already like that. I don't think I put it in there. A large raiding force from Caleb. We got a lab, a barrel of air. What province was that in? Just one of our random provinces. So they essentially gained a lab, and we got a few gems because they're going to be taking that away from us. This fort here has been breached, so they will probably be taking that rather shortly, having 90 units on it. And this province right here now has a lab in it. So things are definitely not going all that great for us. We did go up from whatever our previous number was to 424 units now, just all from the animating, or what is it called, reanimating. So not too bad. Definitely getting a fair amount of undead chaff a turn, but I mean, at the end of the day, these guys, they are absolute garbage. Attack skill 7, defense skill 7, 0 protection, size 2. They have sleep binds, so they're fatigue out, but other than that, they have a link 0 weapon that deals 12 slash damage. Very, very bad. Some of them are better and some of them are worse, so there's really nothing, it's just trying our best, I guess. Just sleep binds, no actual physical attack. So that's all for turn 33, and we'll go ahead and head over to the next one. Not really a whole lot going on, Um, 337 research this turn. Not bad, but definitely would like a lot more. Hitting, we've already got our enchantment 5 now, so we do have foul vapors. I believe something unlucky happens whenever we actually do use it, but that's beside the point. Not that our unit dies. We definitely had that poison resistance covered. And now we're heading up our way to a level 6 alteration. And we'll go ahead and end the turn. We expect that Kalem will be attacking us due to the fact of Jotunheim just pinging this capital here. We finally actually cast Twiceborn on the Panic Apostate here. Just to have him, if he does die, I would like him to be free upkeep and another Carrion Lord, basically. Because, I mean, upkeep does matter at this point when you're making such a low amount of gold per turn. So, everything's going, he should be on research. Don't know why he's not. Oh, probably because he made a Carrion Lord last turn? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. But, we do have this group moving back in. Ooh, should have moved them in. I guess they got left behind. But that would definitely add 76 more units to our roster, taking us up to about 500 troops. Not too bad. Let's look at the score graphs. I mean, our army size is trying to make its way back up to where we were before, but just imagine if we had that army there while also still having or doubling its size. So, yeah, we maybe would have been fine, and then our research is really jumping up. Gem income is going down, of course, since we're losing land. And that was turn 33. We'll head over to turn 34. Oh, wait, was that 34? Hold on. No, okay. We were on the right turn. So, Twiceborn, like I spoke about, a battle in Asphodel. We'll watch it. Whoa, that might have been, we might have done a double turn. No, that's alright. So he actually attacked our fortress again to see it. Not sure why. Still not defending it with anything. We have another battle here where Jotunheim army is moving up and they're raiding our forces as well. Oh, but this is just a Geisha. A very, very diseased Geisha. And this is a province that has a lot of PD in it. So we should be killing that Geisha. And they're already dead. Other than that, we have a battle here in our fortress. They stormed it. They broke it last turn. Lots and lots of mages. Or not mages, but lots and lots of Spirehorn Warriors. My bad, I keep seeing these guys. I'm like, I guess these are just the... Where is he at? There's the general. There we go. That's the one I was thinking of. I was like, why are there so many generals here? We have our archers, and that is it. And we have a single Death One mage on the wall, casting Animate Dead. Getting some shots in. They're flying down on us. We are fighting. Casting a lot of Frighten. Still firing our arrows. Their commander is continuously walking closer to us. Casting Frighten. Still fighting the arrows, but fighting these centaurs on the wall. I mean, they have decent defense skill, whereas they just have 10 attack skill. I thought their defense skill was better than 13, but I guess I'm wrong. And we're just waiting. We'll put it on fast forward here. Slowly taking a few of them out. Or they're taking a few of our centaurs out. Frighten. And they rout. With 3 centaurs left, they rout. And I assume it's just from casting Frighten so many times. Maybe originally their Storm General was the one that routed and then the troops followed. But yeah, the archers on the wall defended against 80 Kalem troops. So very awesome. Very nice defense we have there. That's what I'm talking about. Have an unexpected event, a lot more gems, and the fort is still broken. So they have to spend another turn taking that fort, of course. Moving a lot of troops out. This was one of our foul vapors traps that we had going on. But it turns out that, well, I guess it really doesn't turn out anything. Research 354 turn, not much since we really can't make anything, but we are able to make another Dryad Hag this turn, just due to our gold event and stuff. But yeah, moving the entire army out to see if we can foul vapors trap them here. As far as the scripting goes, all of the centaur warriors are in the middle. All of the chaff are on either side of the army. All of the mages that are going to battle are going to be in the middle with the centaur warriors, except for the centaur warriors in the back. If anything is on a hold and attack rear, and all these guys will be casting. Initially, they'll be casting. Where's one at? Poison Ward. AoE 15 spell. It gives everything poison resistance 10. Definitely want to make sure we're trying to save as many centaurs as we can, because at this point in the game, not fatigue, but it's going to be a grind. I mean, we definitely need to use every resource that we can, and we don't want to be killing our own units. This will also be casted on all of the Dryad Hags and such that are in the range of the, or in that square anyway. Then, I don't know why I had them on cast poison resistance, but Horde of Skeletons after that, and that's how they all are. That one's on it. Well, that one's not coming into battle. Same should be for these. Just using 1 gem, Poison Ward, Horde of Skeletons for the rest of the way. Same here. And we're just bringing everything that we have, trying to kind of take them off guard. I think at this point they assume we're going to stay in our capital, and I want to see if we can actually surprise them. So hopefully enough we will see that. That was turn 34, and that was it for this turn. Definitely a strong argument for us to actually stay in our capital and research at this point, because that would have pushed us up to 479 research per month. Maybe that would have made a difference. I'm not entirely sure. The later income or later outcome of us getting darkness early, 1 turn earlier or not, but it will be fine. That is what we decided to do. Large group here. This is both the Jotun and Kalem force. Whereas the small ones here and down in the south. And that will be all for the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. This is just kind of like a short mini series. I kind of enjoy doing sub games, even though they always turn out poorly because they're all really bad positions. But hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you on the next episode, guys. I'll see you to episode 2. Bye.